Good morning. How's everyone doing? Good. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to do a real quick screen share. So I just want to get some sort of confirmation that you guys can indeed see my screen.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good. I don't
Yeah.
think I had a chance to say good morning, Aaron, Lauren, co-participants, co-hosts.
Good
All
morning.
right. Okay, good. So I'm going to move this out of the way just a bit here. All right. So as you guys know, like Aaron mentioned, we're going to be able to take anything that you're doing and be able to actually record. And there's a tool that we're going to focus on. You guys might have heard different words, different programs, different tools tossed around in the past couple days all over social media about how to screencast. But the one that we're only going to focus on one because we feel it's quite possibly the best option, easiest option to use, and most robust. So we're going to do Screencast-O-Matic. That's the one we're going to focus on. And if you have this installed on your computer, then you do not have to do the step that I'm doing now. So I'm going to hold off on going to the Screencast-O-Matic website and doing stuff there. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my Windows Start button and start typing the word Screencast-O-Matic, or just the word Screencast. And I have the app installed because when we did laptop deployment, I installed this on my new laptop from the software center. Those of you at various campuses where we really push this, if you chose to install this app from the software center, then you already have that app installed. If for some reason you don't, let's say you didn't think it was for you, or at your particular campus that wasn't really being pushed, or you just weren't ready for that, then you don't have the app installed, and you're probably not going to be able to get it from the software center, because in order to download something from the software center, you have to be on the network or at least through VPN. So
No, not anymore. Actually works. You can download and update and everything from the software center, even from your own network, without having on the global VPN.
Mr. Rossellini, how are you doing? Thank you for chiming in, sir. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I thought I heard that yesterday, but I wasn't sure if it was like a blanket statement district wide. So it looks like we can. So
yeah. Actually, it works actually very well. It works as well as when you're actually maybe even better than when you're inside NEISD. So,
good to know.
I mean, I just installed it as a matter of fact while I was talking with you.
Wow. So, okay. So if you guys have it installed, great. If not, at some point, maybe after the webinar, install it. And then you guys will be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this Screencast-O-Matic app here. And I'm going to go ahead and actually, no, that's good. So it's actually starting up right now. There it is. Okay. Sometimes it gets lost. And here is my window that I get when I open the software. Okay. We're going to automatically do the launch free recorder because everything that the free recorder has to offer is exactly what we need. And when I launch that program, the free recorder, it opens up on the bottom left-hand corner. And it opens up to show me different options. The first option here we're going to go over is screen. In other words, these three tell you what is going to be recorded. Right now, it's only going to record my screen. If I wanted to, I can click webcam. And I'm going to try something right now. I'm going to turn off my particular video from in Zoom so that way I could show you guys something. So if I wanted to record my webcam, I can record my face for the students. Say a quick hi. If I wanted to record both my screen and my face, you'll notice that it's recording my screen, or it's set to record my screen, as well as me in the bottom right-hand corner. If you've ever seen video tutorials on YouTube where they have that picture-in-picture, that's how they do it. They record their screen and their webcam at the same time. That way the students, at least for our scenario, that way your students can actually see your face maybe while you're doing this. But I'm just going to do screen for right now, and I'm going to turn my video back on in Zoom. That way you guys can see this face in HD, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now that we have set it to record the screen, it's set to 15 minutes. That means that it can record up to 15 minutes for free. And to be quite honest with you, coming from the curriculum, instruction, pedagogy side, you do not want to record a screencast of 15 minutes for your student. I don't know how you guys feel. I cannot watch a video on solving quadratics or the Industrial Revolution for 15 minutes. It's not going to happen. It's best if you do have content that does take more than about 4 minutes, you might want to chunk those into smaller video segments and maybe make those available for your students to watch in smaller segments rather than one 8-12-minute video or what have you. Okay, and right now my size is set to full screen. However, I can change the resolution, and I'm prompted with these this region bar here, and I can extend, and anything that's within these parameters is what's going to be recorded. Excuse me. However, for my sake, I really just like to do full screen. Just record everything. Might as well. My narration is on, which means that my microphone is set to record. So right now it's using my internal microphone on my computer right here next to the webcam, and it's going to record my audio. That is going to give you some decent audio when you're talking. However, if you want really good, clear audio, if you have a headset, if you have a pair of AirPods, if you have a Bluetooth headset that has a built-in microphone, or if you have a wired headset with that plugs into your computer and has that inline microphone on the cable, that works better than the microphone you're going to get here. Another thing to consider is when you're going to screencast, make sure you're in an environment that's pretty quiet and with some muffled sound. You don't want a dog barking in the background of you solving an equation or talking about a specific reading passage. You don't want your Amazon package delivery doorbell going off kind of thing. So just keep that stuff in mind. And then next we have computer audio. Right now, I have a red X through my computer audio, meaning any dings that my computer makes will not be recorded. If I get a Skype message during my recording or I get an email, I will hear it because it's my computer and it's coming through, but during the recording, it will not come out as a part of the recording. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. And I think this is a good stopping point real quick for questions. Lauren, do we have any questions that we need to discuss right now?
Answer? Nothing yet.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Now let's actually record something. How about that? How about that? Never mind. Okay. So we're going to hit record now. And when I do that, it's going to give me a 3, 2, 1 countdown. And it is now recording my screen. So right now it's recording my screen. Great. I'm going to go ahead and stop it. And this is where it always, always, always gets lost on me. Please, come on. I have all these windows open. Come on. There it is. Okay, so when I clicked on it, when I clicked on the Screencastify, it finished. So there's my little control bar down in the bottom left-hand corner. If I click this play button, it's playing my recording. This looks like my Chrome window, but it's actually playing my recording. You're not hearing the audio, but I can hear myself talking while I was recording. And you can see that my little cursor down here in the video is highlighted in yellow. I will kind of rewind it a little bit so you guys could see it. So it's highlighting the cursor. That way students can follow along with me. Okay, and then that's the end of the video. Now, when I'm done, actually, let me go back. If I wanted to redo it, let's say I wasn't happy with that, or, someone sent a Facebook message and it popped up on my screen. Also, make sure you minimize all that stuff. If you have notifications, things like that, make sure you minimize, close all that stuff. That way you're not interrupted during a really, really good screencast by something like that and have to start over. If I wanted to start over, I could delete and start over. I can go through and see how everything looks, play, pause. And when I'm ready, I can click done. When I click done, I'm presented with a couple of different options here. Okay, there's my little window. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, and right now I want to save this as a video file. So I'm going to click on that video file. And don't worry about the type. We're not going to mess with that at all. File name. It's always good to give your recordings a file name. So this one might be Intro to Screencasting. Folder. Where do you want to save this? Do you want to put this on your desktop for easy access? Do you want to put this in your videos file? Do you want to put this in a folder in your documents? So you choose where you want this to go. And I'm going to go ahead and click on here. I personally like, am I not clicking on it? There it is, browse. I personally like saving all my video files to my videos folder, but it will default to go to your documents inside a folder named, there it is, Screencast-O-Matic. So it will automatically put them in this folder, but you can always change them. And like I said, I'm kind of a stickler about those things. I like my videos in my videos folder. Cursor. Do you want it to highlight that cursor in yellow like we showed earlier, or do you want the cursor to just show the cursor, or do you want no cursor at all? It'll actually delete it on there. So just a couple things to think about. And then when you're ready, click Publish. And it will go through the process of exporting and converting that file to a video. And that one took a very short amount of time because it was only 6 seconds. However, longer videos will take much longer. So just keep that in mind. Okay, any questions before we pull up and some content related stuff to start recording? Lauren, how we doing in the chat?
Still doing good so far. It's morning time and it's dark and rainy outside.
Isn't that awesome? Love
but
it.
Can I chime in for a second?
Absolutely.
So some things Gabriel was talking about, the length of your videos, you do for sure want to chunk your videos. There's kind of a rule of thumb when you make instructional videos. You want to do no more than 1.5 minutes per the number of their grade level. And that makes no sense. So let me say it a different way. So like, let's say I teach 6th grade. I take the number of their grade level, 6, and multiply it by 1.5, and that's 9. That is the absolute longest a video should be for my kids. And even then, that's really pushing it. So make sure you're chunking them into smaller videos, but don't make a million small videos for them to watch at the same time either. And then another thing is, yes, you can redo, and it is frustrating if someone like interrupts your video, but that happened to me all the time when I was making videos for my math class. And your kids get it. It's real life. Don't kill yourself, trying to make a perfect video. Don't be a restart junkie. Like, they understand. It's real life. It's you. So just wanted to throw that in there.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. I'm glad that you brought that up because, yeah. And even that 9-minute video for a 6th grader, I have a 6th grader at home. He's not going to watch a 9-minute video. He'll watch 3 3-minute videos and kind of buzz through them in that. But yeah, 1 9-minute video is not going to happen. Okay. So the next thing I want to show is a tool called Microsoft Whiteboard. I'm actually going to close this. I'm going to start from scratch. So I'm going to click on my Windows Start button down here. And I'm going to type in Store. Okay. Did I lose anyone? We're all good? Cool. The results will show the Microsoft Store. Everyone has access to the Microsoft Store. Within there, I'm going to search for an app called Microsoft Whiteboard. So by clicking on this search on the top right-hand corner, I'm going to type in the word whiteboard. And I get the result of Microsoft Whiteboard. I'm going to click on it and install it. I can install it because it's already installed. Okay, so make sure that at some point you download this Microsoft Whiteboard. Once you click on that install button, it will take no longer than about 30 seconds to a minute. It's a very quick install. And here's what it is. Once it's installed, I'm going to just type in here, like you would to look for any other program or app, Microsoft Whiteboard. I click on it, and I'm presented with a whiteboard. And while this is pulling up, this is basically a blank canvas for you to write, draw, annotate, do whatever it is you need to do, and screencast over it at the same time. So I have this Microsoft Whiteboard. On the bottom, I'm presented with tools. Switch to inking mode. If I click on that, I now have some pen and pencil tools just like a smartboard. Okay, there's a rainbow pen, a galaxy pen, there's a highlighter, eraser, ruler, a lasso select, and all that good stuff. I'm just going to click on my pen, and if I click on my pen again, I can choose a thickness. So I'm going to choose like a somewhat of a medium thickness. And remember, we have touch screen computers. This is where you can go in and actually write. So you can actually use this as if you had a smartboard in your class. So this can really, really do some powerful things for you guys as far as annotating on top of things, or not annotating on top of things, but annotating on your screen and then recording it at the same time using Screencast-O-Matic. I'm actually going to clear everything, and I'm going to put a document on top of here. So by clicking, I'll do that over. By clicking on the top right-hand corner on those three lines, that menu, I'm going to clear canvas, and that gets rid of everything. At the same time, I am going to go to my tools down here, and I'm going to insert a Word document. And I happen to have a Word document. I know I have one, and I have a math one here somewhere. Here it is, representing solutions. Okay, so I have this document, and it's a 2-page document. You'll see that here. I can insert all of the pages, or I could just insert one. I'm just going to do this first one because I don't want to overwhelm my students. And when I'm in here, I can zoom, and what I'm doing is I'm literally pinching with my fingers, pinch to zoom like on any smartphone, and I'm moving it around, and boom, that's the region that I want to kind of have for my students there. I don't want to overwhelm them. I'm going to kind of go in a little tighter here, and then I'm going to pull up my Screencast-O-Matic. And I'm going to record myself going over the instructions for this particular problem. So launch free recorder. There's my free recorder. Everything's set to the way I want. I'm going to hit record. And I'm now going to take my finger here, choose my pen tool, and say, all right, students, here's our lesson for today. Whoops, wrong one. Today we're going to be learning how to solve D divided by 6 equals 13, okay? Well, we know that in algebra, in math, there should not be letters. That's no-no. In math, we want numbers. So the answer is 613. And when I'm done, I can hit my record button again. And because I'm doing a Zoom with a video within a video within a video, it's going to be a little bit weird here, but eventually it's going to show up. And there we go. Lauren, do we have any questions right now? I see that our chat's kind of blowing up here.
Yeah. So Molly asked if we could do this with a Google document. And so I said, well, like insert it into the whiteboard. And so I was telling her, you can, but not directly from Google Drive. Like you would have to download it as a PDF and then pop it into the whiteboard. And I was recommending to not download it as a Word document and then pop it into whiteboard, because when you download a Google Doc into a Word document, a lot of the time the formatting gets, messed up, and then you don't want to have to spend time doing that. But if you downloaded it as a PDF, that wouldn't be a problem. So then I think that caused some confusion. And someone asked if what you were doing was on a PDF. And so I said, no, he's actually working on a Word document. So a Microsoft Word document is real easy to put in there. I was just saying, if you download from Google Docs to a Microsoft Word document, that's when formatting gets weird. So there's no problem putting a Microsoft Word document in the whiteboard. It's just going from one to the other to the other. But I also said, you know, we have some other things you can do with Google Docs to annotate on them, and that we would demonstrate those in a little bit.
Perfect. Okay. And before I go to that, I want to show you my video preview real quick. So this is my video preview here, and it recorded everything. It recorded my voice. It recorded me going through the process. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that just for now. And close Screencast-O-Matic and get my whiteboard back up. Now, as Lauren was saying, I'm going to zoom out really quickly, go back to my tools. I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to actually get rid of this completely. Now, somebody mentioned PDF. If I go to my insert menu, I can actually insert a PDF from here. So I can do a PowerPoint, Word document, or PDF. Like Lauren mentioned, the only thing I can't do is a Word doc, which is what we're going to get to next. So
you mean a Google Doc?
Google Doc, that's what I said, yeah.
Hey, Gabriel, they also asked about putting pictures in there. Can you show them how to insert a photo into the whiteboard?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you would think it would be in this insert menu, but it's not. It's in that little image menu next to it. So if I click on the image menu, I can choose my camera. I can Bing. Who uses Bing? Come on. You can go. I know you can go to the library image here, and I can grab an image from my computer. And I know I have I know I've got some sort of math problem here or what have you. So yeah, I use my snipping tool, and oh, that's a good one here. You could use something like this, you know, and then you can annotate on top of this. I use this for a breakout that I did. All right, we're going to talk about tax. Take a look at this receipt. We have a 7.8 sales tax kind of thing. So yeah, you can insert images that way. And one more time, if you go back to your tool menu, it's the image menu. Does that answer your question?
I think so. And since we're there, can you also show them how to insert a text box? Just because,
absolutely,
because I know someone's going to ask.
Mm-hmm. So right here is the add text feature, and I can type in text. Sales tax. I can move my, I can move my sales tax. I could change the color of the text. I can duplicate it, paste it. So I can have all that stuff and have all that stuff preloaded, ready to go for students beforehand. Mm-hmm. Anything else that you guys would like to see in Microsoft Whiteboard before we show you how to annotate on top of Google Docs? All right, sounds good. So I've got, I'm actually going to pull up a different Google Doc. I'm not going to do this PowerPoint. Let's take a look here. Let's peruse through my Google Doc here, my Google Docs. I'm going to open up. I have a picture of a mirror. Whatever. Let's just open up that doc that we had. So I'm going to move this out of the way really quickly, and I'm going to pull up this Google Sheets that I have. I'm sorry, Google Slides. I keep calling it Google Sheets. So I have this Google Slides assignment for any of you teachers who use Google Slides out there. Okay. It's many, many different slides. I'm probably not going to print all of these. Holy cow, that's a lot. What I'd like to do is, let's say that for lesson 1, I only want slides 1 through 5. I don't want all these other ones. That's a little overwhelming for me. Nevertheless, a student at home. I'm deleting. All right. That sounds great. Whatever. All right. So, oh, cool. It did it. I thought it wasn't going to let me. So I now have this Google Slides, and I have 5 slides ready to go. I want to annotate on top of this. I want to be able to talk, record my screen and my voice while annotating on top of this. Well, here's what we're going to do. we are going to use a smart. Whew, sorry, that came out of nowhere. We're going to use a tool from Smart on our actual Google Docs. And some of you might be thinking, well, I don't have my smart board. It doesn't matter. All we need is the software. So as long as you have the software installed on your computer for Smart, you'll be able to annotate on top of a Google Doc or anything. So I'm going to go to File, and now I'm going to Print. Okay, it's going to pull up my print options here. And for my printing destination, I'm going to change that to Send to Smart Notebook. So if you have Smart installed, you have that Smart Notebook printer installed on your computer. So what it's going to do, and while this is processing, we'll kind of talk about that, it's going to take my Google Slides and it's going to throw it into the Smart Notebook program as images. So these 5 slides will show up as 5 separate images on 5 different pages. And then just like anything in Smart, you can annotate on top of any of that. So just remember, the bigger the file, the longer it's going to take. So I've got 5 slides going on here and it's barely opening up Smart. And if we take a look down here, it's going to start blinking. There we go. It blinks when it's ready, telling you, hey, I'm doing something. There we go. And of course, it put them in sideways. All right. So, all right. So because these are now images, I can actually, where's my little arrow? I can actually reorient them. Of course. It's at the top. All right. I'm starting to lose it, ladies and gentlemen. Where's my little, I'm looking for that little green.
Gabriel, if you right click on it,
Yeah.
I think it lets you do a 90-degree rotation. Or not. I lied.
I think you're right. No, it doesn't.
Sorry. I'm not helping.
All right. Okay. So. Oh, there it is. You know what? It worked better when I actually just touched my screen. There it is. So there's my particular slide that I'm going to annotate on top of, and I'm now going to lock it in place. And now, just like with anything, I can grab my pen tool up here, and I can grab a highlighter, and I can say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about the spinning Jenny. And remember, we're going to be we're going to be recording this down here through Screencasting. The inventor of this was James Hargreaves, and there's a really important piece to the spinning Jenny. I'm not sure you guys knew, but this actual wheel right here, that was actually the first part of the Industrial Revolution as far as interchangeable parts. So, and so on and so forth. But you could see that I was able to annotate on top of any sort of Google document. So this one is a Google slideshow. Google Slides, but you could take a Google Doc, you could take a spreadsheet from Google or anything, and as long as you do File, Print, and Send to Smart Notebook, it puts it in here as images, and they show up as separate pages. Questions?
Okay, so Gabriel, there was a request to see you do that again, to see you print something to Smart again. And then they were asking, you know, can you do this from PowerPoint? So can you tell them what all they can print to Smart Notebook to annotate on?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything from Google as far as a document, Google Doc, Google Slide, Google Sheets, those will be able to print to Smart Notebook. Anything that's Microsoft, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, those can be printed to Smart as well. And I believe images. So if you have an image on your computer, such as I'm going to go to my pictures, and I know I have some clip art here. Here we go. So there is something that I snipped for a particular math lesson I was helping a teacher with. I can, I've never printed an image. Oh, it's the big print button. Print, send to Smart Notebook. Okay. And this shouldn't take too long because it's just an image file and it's only one image. And I know my computer's kind of freaking out because I'm doing a Zoom recording and doing all this stuff at the same time. I'm going to close my image and boom, there it did. It put it into Smart. So I was able to take an image file. Now I'm going to take a Word document. So I have that Word document open with the math problems that we put into Microsoft Whiteboard. I'm going to do the exact same thing. File, print, and there it is. Send to Smart Notebook. Print. And it's going to print these and send them to Smart Notebook. And as you do this more and more on your computer, it'll put the smart learning software in the like recent memory of your computer and what they call the cache. So it'll pull up a little faster each time, supposedly. There we go. Cool. There we go. I now have my Word document, and remember, it is an object. So I would, and we have touchscreens, so I can pinch to zoom. I want to center it the way I want, and I'm going to click on my little arrow here, and I'm going to lock in place. Now I can't move it. It's part of the background. And just like always, I can grab my pen and talk about math. Okay. Does that answer your question?
I think it does. And just to clarify, all of these things that we're showing you, the tools that you can use to annotate on things that you need to teach your lessons, these are all things you can screencast while you're doing them. So this is for the purpose of teaching your students. And, you know, Gabriel was talking a little bit about how he's got a lot of things going, so his computer's kind of freaking out. That shouldn't happen to you because you shouldn't be on a Zoom call and screencasting at the same time. So you won't experience the lags and delays or glitches that Gabriel is seeing just because you're not asking your computer to do so much at one time.
Yeah. Okay. So if there are no other questions on sending files to Smart Notebook when you print them, or annotating with Microsoft Whiteboard, then we'll send it over to Aaron Valdez for some other really cool ways to interact with your students and your worksheets.
Excellent. So I'm going to focus now on actually moving items over so that moving your videos over so that your students can see them. I'll share my screen with you. And so what we are going to look at is, just to start, I did a screencast real quick, so I had it available, but I want to show you getting your video from Screencast to YouTube. So Gabriel showed you how to save it as a file. You can also, once you're done recording, hit done, and you do your save upload. And you will have an upload option for YouTube. The first time you do this, Screencast-O-Matic will say, hey, I don't know what YouTube you want me to send this to. So it'll ask you to log in, and you have a YouTube account associated to your Northeast Google Drive. So use your Northeast credentials to log in, and it'll connect to your YouTube. So from here, you can see it's connected to Aaron Valdez, me. It gave my title, or my recording, a very generic title, but we're gonna retitle it just by clicking. You can see it fills in here. I don't worry about descriptions and tags because I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just using this as a place to put my videos so I can share them easily with my students. But privacy for me, I like to leave my videos as unlisted because this allows for me to share my videos with whomever I want to share them with, but it does not make them searchable. So I use unlisted, but if you want them to be searchable, if you want to help the whole world know how to do things, you can have them as public. If you put private, that means it's only available to you. Even if you share the link, your video will only be viewable by you. So again, I'm going to leave mine as unlisted. Education is fine, and I like to keep my cursor highlighted. It helps my students follow along with what I'm talking about. So from here, I'm going to say publish. And in this one's very short, so it'll only take a few seconds for it to publish. But what happens is it takes what I've done and it puts it onto my YouTube page. From here, from Screencast-O-Matic, I can copy that link and distribute it however I need to for my students. So we will look at putting it into Google Classroom. We will look at including it on Seesaw. We will put it on a QR code so our students can just scan and watch. And you can even send it in like a remind message or however you like to communicate with your students, with your classes. This one's taking a little longer, probably because we're recording and doing everything else. If for any reason you have trouble or you don't want to put things on YouTube, I understand. If you don't like the idea of sharing on the web, you can take your recorded video, like if you downloaded a video like Gabriel did, you can take your recorded video. And so I have my Screencast-O-Matic folder. I'm fine with mine going in there. I know Gabriel said he likes to put his elsewhere. But when you have a video here, if you have the Google Drive file stream installed, which you can get from the Software Center, you can copy your video directly to your Google Drive and store it there. It will then upload to your drive and you can share that video just like you would any other file. So you could make it visible for your students that way, and then it is only on your Google Drive shared with your students, and you don't have to worry about it being up on YouTube if you don't like it that way. If you don't have Google Drive file stream and don't want to install it, you can just do a regular file upload from your drive. So if I'm in Google Drive, I can just do new, file upload, and then I can go find my video. Okay, so there are many, many ways to get your items to your students. But my favorite is right here, copy link. And once I have my link, I can come into whatever form of communication I use with my students to include the video and get it to them. So in my Google Classroom, I would do create assignment. I title my assignment, give them instructions, and then under add, I have a YouTube option. The link that we just copied from Screencast-O-Matic goes into the URL, and my video becomes available when I assign to my students. And so it is right here and is ready to go. So my students would have access to it as soon as I make this assignment available to them. If you are elementary and you're using Seesaw, when you create a new assignment in your Seesaw, so if you're in class, you can just add an assignment, assign an activity, and you can create a new activity and leave your link in there and give your instructions the way you regularly would. And you can put the link wherever you want to, but it would allow it to be a part of your Seesaw activity. The students can click and then access the YouTube video on the computer, on an iPad, or whatever device they are using. If you're wanting to have a little more back and forth interaction with your students, you can have your videos added to your Flipgrid account. If you don't have a Flipgrid, it's really easy to set up, but you just use your credentials. Use your credentials for the district to sign in with your Google, and you can create grids to share with your students, and you assign topics. So when I put a topic in, I can have a review or reflection. I can show them something new and then have them demonstrate back to me. But right here, I can use my YouTube, use my link to upload my video right here for them to use. So when I create my topic, I can have them have the students respond and leave video responses. I don't know. When I create my topic, they can then record a response, and it lets them, because I'm using my camera elsewhere, I can't use it here, but it lets them give me a video response back. So it gives that ability to see my students and still have those interactions with them, and they're able to answer and reply on their time, but you still feel like you're interacting the way you would with a regular, more like you would with a regular classroom. So with the distance learning that we're doing, this gives you the ability to still feel like you're seeing your students, and for your students to still feel like they're seeing their classmates and you. So the final recommendation that we have for sharing videos is utilizing one of the many free QR code generators that's available online. These will let you take your URL, paste it in there, and then I can save my QR code as an image file. And once it's saved, I can bring it into a Google Doc, Word doc, PowerPoint, Google Slides, whatever I'm distributing to my students. It can be brought in. I can control where it goes. The way this document is set up, the first page the students see is actually this one. So I would bring it over. And I would just leave instructions on my Google Drive or however I'm distributing these packages to my students, scan the QR code to watch the video. So it would have their directions available for them there. I saw the chat pop up there. Were there some questions?
Yes. Okay. So there was a question, what is the advantage of posting the link, like in Google Classroom, posting the link to an instructional video via YouTube versus posting the link to an instructional video that you uploaded to your Google Drive as a file?
So in my experience, my YouTube videos link faster, load faster, and are a little more reliable than when I have used a video that is in my Google Drive. They seem to be a little slower, sometimes buffer longer, and take longer for my students to actually be able to play and watch the video.
Sweet. And then the only other question was about who can see student videos in the Flipgrid. You know, can they see each other's responses? And so I kind of explained it depends on the settings you select when you set up your grid.
Right.
You know, how you can choose to moderate posts and approve them before other students see them. And if you don't want other students to see them, you just don't approve them.
Mm-hmm.
So those were our only questions.
Cool. So before we finish, I do want to share with you, the instructional technology team has worked very hard to create a website that is available to all of our district employees and goes through a lot of the, not a lot, most of the distance learning tools that you need. So if you go just to NEISD.net and use your Launchpad sign in, our NEISD distance learning is down here at the bottom. Once this page comes up, if you just start typing distance learning will pop up and you can click to access the site. So on here we have some paths to help you get started depending on your grade level. Talking about platform, curriculum and instruction, and other curriculum departments have worked hard to get things created for you to help with the distance learning. And so that is listed here, as well as our digital learning best practices. So in here, we talk about bringing in social emotional learning, how to host your virtual meetings. Virtual meetings are going to allow your students, just like we're here with you guys, allow your students to see and interact with you in at blah 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 blah. Sorry, at live times. So you can record those lessons while you're interacting with other students, but you can also have that time, you know, open office hours and let them come and talk to you. And some of them may just want to hear your voice and have a chance for you to give them feedback immediately instead of waiting for a response on Flipgrid or in Google Classroom. We also talk more about Screencast-O-Matic and the whiteboard, Pear Deck, Flipgrid, and then we have some additional resources. So if you want to extend to like what students are creating and what they're able to send back to you, we have videos on how to utilize some of these items as well. Again, if you have any questions or need any assistance getting things up and running, or you have things up and running and you're just like, okay, that was cool for the first week, we really need more, talk to your ITSs. We are very happy to help. We have lots of resources and can meet with you one-on-one, or check us out on our site again. Whoops. We will have webinars. We have more today. We have more and more and more coming for next week. And as long as this continues, we're going to be here and available online as much as possible, or all day, every day, Monday through Friday. And even when we come back to school, we're still here for you guys. So we want to be a part of this in our learning process. Are there any other questions? Anyone have anything they want to know more about, or?
Well, I have, I don't know if it's not really it's pertinent, but I don't know if you can help me. I was trying to install another webcam on my computer, my school computer, because sometimes I need actually to write on paper notes, and I would like to see the kids to see what I'm writing on instead of using the tablets. And unfortunately, I cannot install any new driver or anything. I cannot even install my home printer, so I cannot print from my school computer, but I have to use my own computer to print school files. So it's kind of dumb, but I guess
for something like that, if you want, call the help desk and they can remote in to your computer. And in this case, I think they will be more willing to install some things like that. So that we can be successful. But call, don't put in a ticket, like actually call and get them on the phone, and they can remote in, and they have credentials to do installations like that.
Excellent. Thank you for the suggestion. Oh, I see Siri is actually answering my question. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
And Mr. Rossellini, you might want to just check out the Microsoft Whiteboard, because you can literally just write with your finger as you would on a piece of paper.
Yeah, no, I realize that is, yeah, I will try to do that as well. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.